Welcome to my chaos. My name is Kat, and this is Kat's Chaos Cafe, where I serve up the random chaos from my brain. Today, we are going to be talking about some changes and intentions I have going forward, involving my channel and my content, as well as some writing things that I would like to go through and change and develop. Alrighty, I have some coffee. I have a bottle of water. If I have a coughing fit, I apologize. Apparently, I have pneumonia. Don't worry, I'm on antibiotics. I'm taking medication. I've been to a doctor. I have a follow-up appointment with my primary care doctor because I went to urgent care. Today's video, changes and intentions for the channel. What exactly is going to happen in this video? I made a PowerPoint, guys. I made a PowerPoint to keep me on track. So we're going to go over what is my channel and why it is KatsChaosCafe and not Kat Leah Writing anymore. This is a decision and change I made a while ago, and I did make a video about that. We're going to be talking about the type of content that I want to be putting out, and there are some examples that we're going to go over. This is not set in stone. This is not everything. These are just some of the things, the types of content I'm hoping to be putting out moving forward. So we'll be, what is my channel, writing updates, reading reports, classics chaos, my office hours. You notice that says Twitch, some writing intentions, and do the weird thing. So, what is this? Okay. So the reason it's Kat's Chaos Cafe is I am not just a writer. I originally did start my YouTube channel with the intention of sharing my writing journey and being an author tuber. And I sat back and I realized I am not just a writer, and I do a lot of stuff that isn't writing, so it didn't feel right to be under just Kat Leah Writing. Also, Kat Leah was my pen name. My name is actually Kathleen. So my pen name, how it was created, was I cut off the first 3 letters of my first name and the first 3 letters of my middle name. And then with my pen name, I'm still representing both sides of my family because I am named after several people, one person from each side of my family. So I wanted to keep that in my writing name. The reason it's my Chaos Cafe is my brain is chaotic. Also, I lack consistency, and that is a thing that I am greatly working on, is being more consistent. So that is one of my intentions going forward, is I want to at least have something coming out each week. And what we're going to go over in the rest of this video is the different things that I'd like to be coming out. So, like I said, I'm many things. I'm a writer, I'm an aunt, I'm a chaotic entity. I am planner obsessed, so there will probably be planner content. I'm a classics nerd. I actually got my bachelor's of arts degree in classics, so I studied ancient Greece and Rome, and there will be some content in the future connected to that. So in a way, I can use my classics degree since I'm, not using it currently. I like to crochet. I like making, I made a blanket I make blankets, and I'm working on learning how to make cardigans and sweaters. So I also am an art dabbler and many other things. So like in the background, you might start seeing random art thingies I've done. I've done some random streams and stuff on my Twitch involving that. Also, if you want to see a lot of me, I'm on Twitch a lot. A lot more than here. We'll talk about that later, actually, about some of that. The thing is, I'm over there all the time with very little content over here. YouTube is where I started, and I want to be over here more. I always say that is I want to be over here more. I apologize for my phone going off. So I want to be over here on YouTube more in videos. I don't post videos a lot, and I want to change that, as well as streaming over here once a week would be nice. So, what are writing updates? This would be a type of video that I would potentially make a PowerPoint to keep me on track, to share with you writing updates, such as, did I write this week? What did I write? Where can you find those words? And my words a lot of times can be found on World Anvil. If it's a World Anvil world building article, my KatsChaosCafe.com is now hosted on Fourth Wall. So I actually have membership stuff over there. Ko-fi, Patreon, Substack, and then potentially another location that I'll be talking about later in the video. So, if you didn't know, I come from a fan fiction background. I still write fan fiction. I'm not going to encourage you to go check it out because I just use it as a form of self-care. I'll be honest, sometimes it's not great. But it's a form of self-care for me to write fan fiction, and it just kind of gives my brain a break sometimes. And breaking some of the habits that it taught me in learning to do that with my original work is a thing I've been progressing and working on. But so on KatsChaosCafe.com, which is my Fourth Wall, Fourth Wall is actually connected to my Twitch. So if you are a subscriber on Twitch, you can get a discount on your membership on my website. The same content that goes up on my website will be the same content that goes up on Ko-fi or Patreon. I have not set Patreon up. Not really. This is one of the things I would like to do because I do know that some people are not comfortable with Ko-fi, or they're not comfortable with setting up a membership on a person's website. So I want to figure out a system for myself to have my content and my words in more places that people are comfortable with accessing. Now, Zemo myself will be free. You don't have to have a paid membership for it at all, because, again, I'm from a fanfiction background. And then other stuff will have to be behind a paywall because of some stuff that I'll be talking about later. You can check out my Substack, which is linked in the description down below of this video, as well as the links to my World Anvil website, Ko-fi, and the Patreon link will be down there as well as other links. The World Anvil one is an affiliate link, actually, just so you know. I will try and tell you if I do that. So Substack is my newsletter. That's another thing I want to work on, is working on my newsletter. But so writing update videos are a video where I want to share this information of where you can find the stuff, where you can find the written chaos. Sorry. Reading report. Don't worry, a reading report is not going to be like if I was doing a presentation on a book I read or an essay like I was assigned in school, because I didn't like it then and I'm not going to like it now. Just saying. But it'll be a video. If I do these, it would be once a month at most. Would not be more frequent than that, going over what I have read in the previous month. So if I do this, they would come out on, I think I decided the 14th of each month. And that would give me 14 days to do the video and to edit it and stuff. Because if I did a reading report next month in November, it would be on what I read in October, if that makes sense. So it'd be sharing how much I read, like did I read books, audiobooks, stuff like that. What I read, possibly, like a list of books, or I'll show covers. Maybe sometimes what I thought about it, what would I rate the stars, stuff like that. At this time, I'm not sure if I'll have like full-blown book reviews or anything like that. I'm not into that sometimes, though. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I want to review that. Sometimes I don't. I don't know. But reading reports are a thing that you might see going forward, possibly starting next year, because I've been really bad about reading this year. Classics Chaos, the way to use my degree without using my degree. I spent a lot of money and went into a lot of debt for that degree, and I'm not using it. But I'm a weirdo, and my idea of a good time is comparing works that have been translated into English, and seeing and noticing some of the choices made by various translators. I have access to 4 different copies of the Iliad, 3 different copies of the Odyssey currently. I have 2 copies of Antigone. So, because of my degree, I studied ancient Greece and Rome, and the literature and the myths and the stories, and that is a passion for me. And I'm gonna force y'all to deal with it. But what would you expect in the Classics Chaos videos? So I want to do short videos initially, like as I'm going through the translations, because I don't know how long it's going to take me to do this. Because I'm comparing 4 different translations of the Iliad, like looking at word choices. I'm still on the first page, and I have 4 pages of notes already, by the way, just so you know that. But how I imagine it to be is I would do various short videos as I progress through, and then when I finish a book in the Iliad, so the Iliad is made up of 24 books. Or so how we would do it is be chapters, but but in the Iliad it's books. And they could be viewed as complete books, in all honesty. So in the Iliad, I'm still in book 1. I would like to do like short to max 20-minute videos, preferably shorter than that, as I progress through. And then when I finish comparing and reading and going through book 1, I would then make a longer segmented video of book 1 of the Iliad, and then continue through the entirety of the Iliad, and then move on to the Odyssey and maybe onto some other works. This is my idea of a good time. And I don't want to write a paper. That's not my idea of a good time. I'll record a video, though, instead of like I'll have a works cited and stuff and everything for you and references, so you can go through and find those if you wanted to in those videos. And I will state this in the videos as well. All of the translations are good. I just like to look at the little differences that they chose to make and give my personal opinion on them. Because why not? So Classics Chaos is a thing that will be coming eventually. I do not know yet fully how I want it to be. I do need to make a plan. And that one I'm going to want to be more consistent with. So I might pre-record stuff and then schedule it like a month in advance or something. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. So Classics Chaos. If you're not here for that, I'm sorry. But I'm a nerd, and that's my idea of a good time. So office hours, what are those? So over on Twitch, I do various types of streams. I do writing streams, productivity streams, and I do gaming streams. Gaming streams are not in this. I do not count them in this. So they're located on my Twitch. You can go to twitch.tv/KatsChaosCafe. Also linked in the description down below, as well as in my link tree. Monday through Friday, essentially, my goal would be to stream Monday through Friday. And between my day job, which I'm currently working in a warehouse 3 days a week for 4 hours, when I'm not sick, like I am currently, breathing in dust and doing a lot of physical activity with pneumonia, probably not a great idea. So I did call into work for my health and safety. And potentially for others people, because I might be a liability to other people. But between day job and office hours, I want to do 40 hours a week. Act as a full-time job between my day job and my streaming office hours. Game streams do not count towards my office hours. What is included in my office hours, you may ask? I would be doing admin work, writing, editing, formatting, prepping videos. Like today, I made this PowerPoint. That's one of the tasks I did. I was in Canva today instead of writing because I apparently need to work on things. Maybe editing videos. I can't record videos if I'm recording them on my computer because my computer does not allow me to be in OBS and record videos at the same time. So I can't do that. Or making content in some way, shape, or form. Like I can make it from my phone. I can record it on my other phone, which I use as a camera sometimes, but I cannot do it from my computer. But content isn't just videos. I could also do pictures and put them into Canva and make like shorts and stuff. I don't know. So office hours are essentially me working on Cat's Chaos Cafe stuff. So what are my writing intentions and doing the weird things? Yes, I combine these because they're very connected. Number 1, book 2 of Shadow is on hold. I had already, so I published Whispers of Tomorrow last year. It has almost been a year. At the end of the month, it will be a year that I hit that button. I had contemplated not publishing Whispers of Tomorrow yet because I have other books that are in that world that chronologically speaking happened first. And my brain really likes to work in chronological order. And in those books, some of those characters and the events that happen in them would actually affect the time that Shadow takes place. So I'm giving into my instincts, and Shadow is going to be on hold until I finish those other works. There will be 5 books then that I need to write before I can go back and work on Shadow. That doesn't mean I might not work on it in the background. It just will not be something I force myself to do because my brain does not want to work on this project because of my desire to write the world chronologically and build some of the information about the world first. So that's on hold. Number 2, Blood Rain is the first of those chronological ordered books. So Blood Rain is going to be currently planned as a trilogy. Fingers crossed I keep it as a trilogy, so it's only 5 books between getting back to Shadow. I think I've decided that I'm going to try and do an interesting schedule here. This is an intention. I'm going to attempt this and intend to do it starting in November of this year. I already have 3 chapters written of the first book. I do need to reread those so I can get my mind into the flow of that and jump into it. But I'm going to try and draft the entirety of Blood Rain, one right after the other. And I have a rough plan schedule written down in my bullet journal. I would like to draft Blood Rain Book 1, which is Rise of the Blood Queen, by the end of this year. I'm going to spend November and December working on book 1. And then in between January and March, I want to draft book 2. Between April and June, I want to draft book 3. So I'm giving myself a shorter time with book 1 by a month, though I have been working on it a little bit. But it won't be that drastic, I don't think. And if I'm able to do that, so if I finish the draft for book 1 of Blood Rain by the end of the year, before January 1st of 2025, I'm going to begin editing that book while I am drafting book 2, or book 3, depending on how fast I go. And we're going to see. So this is an unrealistic goal. This is an unrealistic expectation, or intention, I guess, for myself. I just want to see if I can do it. I don't know if I can. I have doubts in myself. But you know what? I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to try and draft this book November and December of this year. So November and December of 2024. And publish this book in July of 2025. And then in October, I'm going to try and publish book 2. And then in January of the following year, publish book 3. I don't know if this is going to work. I am aware of my limitations and of how I am. But I'm going to give it a try. We're going to see if in the next 8 months, if I can draft 3 books. And edit one of them. But keep in mind here, I do not work a full-time job. I work a part-time job. Currently, I'm not going to school because I owe the school money. But that's just that point. I do eventually want to go back to school and extend my education, maybe, or unless I find another path I like more. We're going to see how well I do with this. It's a goal. It's a quest. We'll never know what I can achieve if I don't try. I'll keep you posted. If I can't, I would like to at least get the 3 books drafted by the end of next year. Because I'm just going to try and write them continuously through. So that I'm keeping the same story in mind and I know what happens next already. So if I can write them all by the end of next year and publish them the next year, I'll still be very happy. Like, that'll be beyond my expectations. It took me like 5 years to write Whispers of Tomorrow. Another thing, so that was 2. So Blood Rain, I basically want to draft the entire series before I publish a single one of them, just so I don't end up with what has happened with Whispers of Tomorrow, which I published Whispers of Tomorrow almost a year ago, and book 2 is not out. Book 2 is not written. Book 2 is not drafted. I have chapter 1 started. So I'm aware of that. And I'm aware that my brain is chaos, and I could sit down and force myself to do that. But I want to enjoy the story. I don't want it to be... I don't want to be fighting my own brain the whole time. So, I On the other hand, let's go to number 3. I am working on a story idea called Briar's Hollow, which I once upon a time was Diary of a Grim Witch. Before that was Diary of a Grim Reaper. Diary of a Grim Reaper might become a thing one day as something else. But Briar's Hollow and the Summoning Scroll are going to be 2 works that happen simultaneously. I am going to try and do a... This is connected to number 4, by the way. I'm potentially going to go and try and use Kindlevella again. They changed one of my biggest issues with it, which was my biggest issue. They have not changed my second biggest issue about that. So my second biggest issue was the fact that it was US only. Currently, you can only buy the tokens if you are in the US, which I think is BS, and I wish it would go wide. My biggest issue with it was actually the fact of the engagement. You're supposed to be able to build a community with it. And I went to check out Kindlevella because somebody I follow posts over there. So I was going to go over and support them because I haven't spent the 200 tokens that I got for free. Like, I still haven't spent those tokens. So I went over there and I realized they changed something. How you used to get community engagement on it before, when I was involved with Kindlevella, was the reader had to fully review the work. They could answer polls based on your author notes. So a full-on review of the whole work, not an individual chapter. Polls that were timed, of course, and author notes. Author notes is you talking at nothing, if people can't respond to that without doing an entire review, which was my biggest issue. Like, that's really not community engagement. That's not building my audience. That's not engagement. They have added actual commenting on individual chapters, which I am super psyched about, because that was my biggest issue, in all honesty. Yes, I really do have an issue with the US thing, but the fact that they advertised it as build your community, and then I shall jack shit about it. Like, over time they can roll it out to more people, because I know it was kind of in a beta thing and not a lot of people knew it existed. So I'm possibly going to be attempting Kindlevella. And now let's go back to 3. Briar's Hollow is probably going to be episodic and end up on Kindlevella. In correlation is the Summoning Scroll. Some video content you might be getting from me might be stupid little skits taking place at the Summoning Scroll. The Summoning Scroll is a business in Briar's Hollow. The people who run it are the childhood best friends of who would be the main character in Briar's Hollow. So they're going to be interconnected. I may do a written version of Summoning Scroll. I may not. I will be writing notes and scripts for myself, but I won't be sharing those. Also, I can embed those into World Anvil because Briar's Hollow has a World Anvil. So, if I do Briar's Hollow, that would be a once a week thing. It would not be a trying to get it done in advance thing. And I would be doing it as a week A, week B thing. So week A, I would post to Briar's Hollow. Week B, I would post to the Summoning Scroll. And I would only need to do one of those a week. So I personally do not feel like those will interfere with my plan or intention of drafting a crap ton of words in Blood Rain, because also it'll give my brain a break from Blood Rain as well. So yeah. We're going to see how that works out. I don't know how that's going to work out, but we're going to try. But I'm going to do the weird thing. I'm going to try and do stupid little skits in shorts. And I don't know how that's going to go, but we're going to figure it out. They might be really terrible, but we'll give it a shot. So sorry. We're at 30 and a half minutes. So thank you for joining me for this chaos of today's video. I'm hoping to actually do the things I intend to do. These are not promises. I'm hoping and intending to do these things. But I know that life gets in the way. I know that my brain is my brain and it likes to be chaotic AF. So even if something brings me a ton of joy, doesn't mean I'll do it, which sucks, but yeah. So this is the first step in a direction. And hopefully you'll get at least one thing from me a week, possibly more. So I'm going to start with just trying to do one thing a week and get some consistency there. And then I may move on to trying to get 2 a week. I don't know. We're going to start small and work our way there. So, thank you so much for joining me for my chaos today. If you have any questions or comments, please share in the comments down below. I hopefully will post a video next week. That's all I got. What chaos did you commit today?